Well,
That's cool.
I have to give myself something to do, or I'm just going to sit around during this coronavirus and like not even touch my violin, which is
Yeah.
basically what's been happening. I haven't even been like touching it, and that's really
Mhm.
depressing and sad. So,
I'm glad you did this because it's like just an excuse for me to get motivated again. So, yeah.
well, you are an excellent musician, and I hate hearing that you haven't been playing at all. That really upsets me,
Yeah.
because you are super diverse and super cool. And thanks for doing this project with me.
Thanks. Yeah, I appreciate that's very sweet. Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah. I miss you. What have you been up to? So I haven't seen you in
Well,
probably about a year and a half.
I was gonna say it's been probably a year. It's like the whole lockdown stuff happened, and so basically, I'm a teacher. I teach at the technical college in Appleton, and I teach math. And so basically, I went online. So I've been teaching online, and which is all right. It means I'm teaching from my bedroom, which is weird, but
Yeah,
you know,
totally. Right.
it,
My partner is also a teacher as well and is teaching at home like 3 days a week. So sometimes
uh,
I get kicked to the dining room. Sometimes he gets
oh
kicked to the bed.
geez.
And we're kind of like constantly fighting for office space, trying to figure out who's going to get to teach. So,
you know I think I've been saying all the time I'm very thankful for what I have because I've got my job and I've got this house and I can pay the bills, and yeah, life is annoying in a lot of ways, but I've got it pretty good,
yay,
so
totally. So our origin story is that you and I met when I was bartending and waitressing at Blue Opus, which was the
yep,
awesome jazz club in Green Bay that just closed.
yep,
And
yep,
you would play there with Brass Differential, which is like one of my absolute all-time favorite bands to see live, professional, local, whatever. It just really
yeah,
awesome band. So tell
thanks.
everybody out in the universe about Brass Diff.
So Brass Stiff started about 7 years ago. Um, Bill Hill, my friend, and I started the band, and we had visited New Orleans, and we just loved the music down there. And both Bill and I had played in several other bands around Green Bay for a while, and we enjoyed it, but we always like kind of had this idea of starting our own thing. And so we just decided to put our own band together. And I just classify it as like blues, funk, party music is kind of how I describe it. And it's definitely New Orleans influenced, but we play a lot of other stuff too. And so I play sousaphone in that band. We don't have a bass. I play sousaphone instead. And we do have a lot of solos too. We let the horn players like really let loose and improvise. And we notice a lot of horn bands don't do that. Like horn players get like an 8-bar solo, and a lot of our horn player friends get frustrated playing in those bands because like, yeah, it can be fun party music, but they don't get to like let loose. And
Yeah, really.
so I like to say we let the big dogs eat.
What's your origin story as a brass musician? How did you get into playing music? Were you a band kid? What's kind of the background there?
Yeah, I was a full-fledged band geek. Like in high school,
Yeah.
I played like everything. I actually in fifth grade I started on baritone and euphonium, and so I played that through high school. And then in high school, I was handed a trombone and told to learn it on my own, and I started in the jazz band. And in college, I just played jazz band. I didn't play anything else. I was asked to do pep band and other stuff, but I was like, no, I want to graduate. So with my math degree, so I decided to just drop everything else, just to jazz band. And then after college, I played in like jazz big bands and stuff, and would pick up other random gigs on trombone. And then it wasn't until Brass Diff started, it's the first time I played a tuba. And so it was like, I'm gonna learn how to play this. And somehow deep in my heart, I always was meant to play tuba. I just didn't know it. Once I got used to it, it just felt right. And I love playing tuba. And now trombone is basically like my second instrument. So yeah, so it's it's been a long ride, but like I didn't start learning tuba until I was in my 30s. So just goes to show you can always learn a new instrument. Doesn't matter how old you are.
Yeah, something about the old dogs and new tricks, right?
Yeah, I don't buy it. If you're motivated and having some music knowledge helps, when learning any new instrument, because you already have a baseline of, how to count, and how scales and things work. So, there's some similarities, but it took me really 2 years of practicing every day before I felt comfortable on the tuba. So, I mean, that's kind of transition. And I just did it out of necessity. Like I wanted to start this band with Bill, and I was like, we need a tuba player. And yeah, there were guys around, but I was like, I want to do that. Like, I just felt like it was my mission to do that. And so I went for it.
Well, it's like violin to cello. Like I'm a
Right.
terrible cellist. I could never
Really?
quite make that leap because it's going from like here to here, which is a
Yeah.
totally, this is just very strange. But I
Right.
love playing the bass as
Okay.
as a person who played melodies, and I think that's something that exists within the euphonium repertoire too. Like you're a melodic player
Uh-huh.
sometimes, and so as a person who plays melody, I really enjoy the opportunity to play bass. It feels
Yeah.
awesome. I love it.
Same.
Yeah.
That's what I get out of the sousaphone thing is I'm on sousaphone, I'm playing bass. I'm just playing the bass line. I love playing funky bass things, but of course trombone is more melodic. So it's, different styles completely.
What have you found in your forays into the brass band universe that you're living in now? What have you found is the most important part of musicianship for you within that band?
I guess I should give two answers because I think we have a really great personality in the band, like our professionalism mixed with positive friendliness in the band is what really makes it work. Musically, yeah, I mean, I don't know how to describe it, but like the New Orleans stuff is very rhythmic. And so like when I play bass, I think I play a very rhythmic style of bass. I'm very like punching notes and to get those funky rhythms in there. And so the New Orleans style is very much drums and bass are a very key thing, and then the horns just sit on top and go loud. Even when you're gigging, the music evolves a little bit. You're trying something and people are responding. And as long as it's nothing too crazy, then you can try it on a gig and see what happens. It's not a big deal.
Definitely.